This is a little video request from Adam. Since I'm on crutches and I don't have the place for full Goetic circle to show you and nor the camera, I do this on my Magus holy table tray. That is a bit up tray that I usually use myself for drawing into rings and crystals and things. But I show you the Goetic way and you pretend that that is the triangle and we stand outside of the circle. And here I have a piece of paper on the tip of the sword that comes from outside the circle, and I enter in so that it will be signed by him. And if that doesn't occur, then we go into cursing. And we have called into the king several times and nothing has happened. And then we go to the general curse, cause the spirits chain against all spirits that rebel. Out of wicked and rebellious or disobedient spirit, because thou hast rebelled and not obeyed nor regarded my words, which I have rehearsed, they being all glorious and incomprehensible names of the true God-maker and creator of you and me and all the world. I, by the power of those names which no creature is able resist, do curse you into the depths of the bottomless pit, and there to remain until the day of doom, in chains of fire and brimstone unquenchable, unless you forthwith appear here before the circle in this triangle to do my will. Therefore come quickly and peacefully in and by these names, Adonai Sebaoth, Adonai Amiran. Come, come, the King Adonai commands you. And when you have read so far, and he doesn't come, and now we put, I made up a seal here, and I don't have a black box either. Write his name and seal on virgin parchment and put it in a black box with brimstone and stinking herbs like asafoetida. I use pine cones and paprika. They smell especially when they are fresh and turned on burning coal. And then bind the box up round with an iron wire and hang it upon your sword's point and hold it over the fire of charcoal. And let's pretend that this is the charcoal here. So I would hold this with either a wand or something. But I don't use a box. I would threaten instead to burn the sigil that I've made up here. And say to the fire as follows. And then you place from whichever quarter the spirit is called from, if it's east or northwest or whatever, you put it there. And the conjuration of the fire. And I would hold it like that, so pretend I'm holding it. I conjure thee fire by him that made thee and other good creatures in the world, that thou torment, burn and consume this spirit into the everlasting, because thou art disobedient and obeyed not my commands, nor kept the precepts of the Lord thy God, neither wilt thou obey me nor my invocations, having thereby called you forth, who and the servant of the Most High and Imperial Lord God of hosts, Jehovah, and dignified and fortified by his celestial power and permission, neither comest thou to answer these my proposals here made unto you, for which your averseness and contempt you are guilty of grand disobedience and rebellion. And therefore I shall excommunicate you and destroy your name and seal, which I have here enclosed in this box, and I shall burn them in immortal fire, and bury them in mortal oblivion, unless thou immediately come and appear visibly and affably, friendly and courteously here before unto me, before this circle, in this triangle, in a fair and comely form, and in no wise horrible, hurtful or frightful to me or any other creature whatsoever upon the face of the earth, and make rational answer to my request, and perform all my desires in all things that I will make unto you. And then if he doesn't come at that, then comes the greater curse. Now, O thou spirit, since thou art still pernicious and disobedient, and will not appear unto me to answer to such things which I would have desired of you, or would have been satisfied, I do in the name and by the power and dignity of the omnipotent and immortal Lord God of hosts, Jehovah Tetragrammaton, the only creator of heaven and earth and hell, and all that in them is, who is the marvelous disposer of all things, both visible and invisible, curse you and deprive you from all your office, joy, and place, to bind thee in depth of the bottomless pit, and dare to remain until the day of the last judgment. I say into the lake of fire and brimstone, which is prepared for all the rebellious, disobedient, obstinate, and pertinacious spirits. Let all the holy company of heaven curse thee, the sun, moon, and all the stars, the light and all the host of heaven curse thee into the fire, unquenchable and torment unspeakable. And as thy name and seal is contained in this box, chained and bound up, you shall be choked in sulphurous and stinking substance, brimstone, and burnt as your seal is in this material fire. So in the name of Jehovah, and by the power of and dignity of these three men, names Tetragrammaton, Anepheneton, and Primenmaton, I cast thee, O thou disobedient spirit, into the lake of fire, which is prepared for the damned and cursed spirits, and there to remain unto the day of doom, and never more to be remembered of before the face of God, which shall come to judge the quick and the dead and the world by fire. And that they always come by that. And as soon as it comes, quench the fire or put it out, and put on something sweet-smelling perfume, and show him the pentacle. And then you start to address the spirit, a welcome and license to depart, and command him. But I just show you my simple way, and why I use this holy table rather instead. Let's say I want, since I work with the angels every day, let's say I make a seal. I put, this is incense, and but remember one thing with the curse there. You only have to do the full ritual once for each spirit. Once they promise to obey you, that's it, you don't do the full ritual anymore. So let's say here's one of my incenses. I would ask the spirit to appear by the angels who command, and I made up this spirit. And since I've written with a consecrated pen on paper, and I often like to use, so when I just put it in the incense smoke, and if it's made of, let's say, a ring or something like that, I would put it here and let it really be filled with incense smoke. And I always use a lid to build up the smoke, and then I lift the lid so it, when I put the item there, it really gets smelly and dirty, and I can, that is the spirit. And in that way it doesn't need so much ritual, and I can do it on this simple tray. And I would, let's say like that. into the, and I want the spirit into the crystal there. And with the help of the angels, I just played him there, have a sigil ready, and ask, and if I have candles, but it all comes down to practice. But I just wanted to show you a quick, as soon as you've done this in ritual with the angels present, and you've written a sigil, it is the spirit. So that's why I always talk about making your own sigils. I don't use metals to engrave things and so much anymore. But if this would be in a real, like all my angelical books, they are living since I drew the sigils by hand myself and put them over. I don't, but I let the incense smoke touch them and the angels bless it and they come. So that is just a simple way, and I use this little simple plastic tray that is broken, as you can see. And it's the holy table from the book The Magus, an old book, and that was it. And if you like a more private video with me going into depth of other books that I can't probably not put up on YouTube, I can, if you just write to me and tell me how, I will send it to you in an email or do the YouTube thing that you can do a private showing. But I have never done that. So if anybody of you wants a private showing of something with words that I cannot say on YouTube, then I can do that video thing, and I don't know if I should write your name or something and only one can watch or 5, or since this is a free channel, so I don't know how to do it, so help me out there. And Adam, I hope this helped you, and you have my email, so email me and I can send you more texts if you don't want more videos. Bye for now, have a magical day.